Late one night, Emily was driving home through a thick forest after visiting a friend. The road was narrow, winding through the trees, with only her car's headlights cutting through the dense fog. She knew this area well, but tonight, something felt off. The air felt too still, the darkness too heavy. As she drove, she noticed something strange in her rearview mirror. A shadow. A tall, thin figure standing at the edge of the road. At first, she thought it was her imagination, but when she glanced again, it was still there, standing unnaturally still, watching her car as she passed. Her heart began to race, but she shrugged it off, thinking it must have been a tree or a trick of the fog. She turned her attention back to the road ahead, trying to calm herself. A few miles later, the road seemed to stretch endlessly, with no signs of civilization. Her phone had lost signal long ago, and now the eerie silence of the night pressed in on her. Suddenly, her headlights caught movement in the trees, a flash of something pale darting between the trunks. She hit the brakes, her eyes scanning the road ahead. Nothing, just the fog swirling through the trees. Trying to shake off the growing sense of dread, she pressed the gas and continued driving. Then, out of nowhere, she heard it, a tapping sound. It started softly, like someone lightly drumming their fingers on the roof of her car. Tap, tap, tap. Emily froze, her grip tightening on the steering wheel. The tapping grew louder, more insistent, like something or someone was crawling over the roof of her car. Her breath quickened, but she didn't dare stop. She pushed the car faster, her heart pounding in her chest. Suddenly, the tapping stopped. The silence that followed was deafening. Just when she thought it was over, she heard a soft, dragging sound, like nails scraping across glass. Her blood ran cold as she slowly looked to the passenger window. There, pressed against the glass, was a face, a gaunt, pale face, with hollow black eyes staring right at her. Its mouth was stretched into an unnatural grin, lips cracking as it whispered something she couldn't hear. It wasn't human. Emily screamed, swerving the car, but the figure clung to the window, its eyes unblinking. The car skidded, and she lost control, crashing into the side of the road. Everything went black. When Emily woke up, the car was still. The figure was gone. Trembling, she looked around, but the forest was silent, empty. Shaking, she grabbed her phone. Still no signal. She was alone. Or so she thought. From the darkness of the trees, she heard it again. Tap, 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 growing closer, louder, until it was right next to her car. She never made it home.